everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. As you can tell, the setup is a little bit different because today I'm going to be making an attempt again for probably like the 5th time to vlog. This video is in collaboration with my favorite YouTube channel for Lolita, Dodo the Extinct, and I'm really excited to be filming this today. We came up with the concept for a vlog that was basically a one-day itinerary in my city. I wanted to try doing a vlog because I feel like Dodo's channel is so amazing in terms of vlogging for Lolita, and I really like how she shows just the day-to-day average Lolita life and how it's not necessarily super difficult to accomplish wearing Lolita to all types of places and events. So yeah, I'm already ready. As you can tell, I got dressed. I'm wearing Milky Berry for the first time. I'm really excited. I'm really happy with how this coordinate turned out, and I'm really happy because this dress actually fits me super well, and I was worried I was gonna have to alter it. So we're gonna head out. We're gonna go get breakfast first. My girlfriend and we're gonna go meet up with my friend Prince and go to eat. So I'll show you my coordinate and then we'll be on our way. Orion chilling in the sun. Oh, a flop. Is Asro there too? There he is. He's wearing his strawberry jammies, so we're matching. So we took the subway or the metro in Montreal, and our first stop, like I mentioned, is for brunch. So we're meeting up with my friend Prince. Here he is in his full classic glory. We stopped on our way to get brunch just to take some pictures or a video in this case, and we just decided to pose together to show our coordinates. We ended up having a bit of a mint and pink theme going on, which I think looks really cute. I love us subtly matching with classic and sweet with the color scheme, and Prince looked amazing as usual. I love this dusty pink color on him. It always looks so nice. Here we are turning like Misako and Midori do when they model for Innocent World. So we went to this crepe restaurant. It's called Spanel, and it's a very cute, very French, apparently, according to my French coworker, little cafe and restaurant. It focuses on serving buckwheat crepes, which means it's all gluten-free and I can eat it. And it has a really cute, simple decor, but it's always very tasty, and the portions are super filling. I got a crepe with arugula, smoked salmon, cheese, and egg. My girlfriend got a dessert one, and Prince got the same one as me. And we got these huge caramel lattes, which were super good. I'm not 100% sure why I filmed at this angle, but now you have a video of us eating. After a very filling brunch, we took a walk over to our next stop, which is a vintage mall. It's called Mashit Underground, and I'll be showing it to you soon, but we decided to walk there just because it was such a beautiful day, and this part of Montreal, well, not this exact road, but a bit further in, is pretty nice. It's pretty open and busy this time of year. And as people who don't drive, we tend to walk everywhere. And since this is my one-day itinerary for you, well, I figured it was realistic to include a bit of walking. So here we are getting closer to it. So Marché Underground is, like I said, a vintage mall. It's basically a bunch of different rooms that are all owned and operated by different sellers. Beautiful window display this time of year. It kind of matched Prince and I's cords. There was a lot of pink and mint. And I feel like a lot of the nicest stuff was in the window this time, to be honest. So as you can see, 10 shops, and in we go. It looks very unassuming from the outside, but as soon as you step inside, there's so much decoration, so much different things to look at. There's a lot of really cool, old, kitschy things. They really emphasize the vintage aspect here. It's not really like a flea market so much as like a vintage store. Most of the items are pretty curated. As you can see, this room is like themed to be kind of witchy. So all of the rooms kind of have their own vibe going on. It's different across the room, as you can see here. These aren't owned by the same people. There's clothes, furniture, decoration, art, a bunch of really cool stuff. We tend to buy a lot of like little wall decor and knickknacks here, but we haven't bought any huge furniture pieces or anything like that yet. Did you see the wall of clowns? I did not like the vibe of these dolls that much. A little bit creepy, if you ask me.
It's art, baby. It's not something open.
It's not for sale. Why? Don't put it there. We want the nuns making out. Are you ready for part 2?
Ready.
Part 3? Yeah, part 3. So, on to the metro for our next stop. This was in a mall, which is pretty downtown, and it was a pop-up. There's a lot of these in Montreal, really, and this particular group of like organizers or artisans do them once a month at least, if not more, but this was our first time checking it out. To be honest, it was a bit smaller than I expected, and it was really, really hard to film because it was quite narrow and there was a lot of people. So I'm sorry, but this footage is not great. But as you can see, there was quite a variety of artisans and sellers, despite it being a bit cramped in here. So this person sold both vintage clothes and new goods made by local artists. You can see there's some mugs, some embroidered hats and pins, and all the clothes in the back was vintage. Obviously, I did not buy any clothes. I don't really wear my normal clothes that often, so I try not to buy too much. There was people selling jewelry, art, cards, soaps, and candles. There's always a few soap people at these kinds of things. Crystals, some more handmade clothing and art. Because it was in the mall, I think we expected it to be a little bit bigger, and wearing Lolita in these types of like kind of cramped spaces where a lot of people are moving around isn't super ideal. It was really busy since it's in a pretty popular mall, so I don't really think we got to enjoy it as much as we could have, which is a bit unfortunate, but we still did take some time to peruse and browse. This footage is sped up, but we took a pretty good look at everything. I didn't get footage of it, but I bought a couple soaps. They smell really good. One of them smells like pink lemonade, and the other is just like a nice floral smell. And Prince bought a keychain from a local artist, which I will show you in just a second since we are almost done with the pop-up. Back onto the metro, again, more public transportation. We were lucky this day because we got all of the clean new metros. If you get the old ones from like the 60s, they're pretty dirty. They haven't changed them all out yet. And we went to the Old Port, which is sort of the historical and touristy area of Montreal. Now, I say touristy just because there's a lot of tourists in the summer. I wouldn't say that Montreal is like a particular, I don't know, go-to destination for everyone, but the downtown and Old Port areas do get very busy. But it is very beautiful, and in this particular like square that we're in, there's a humongous church. A lot of people just visit it. I have not actually ever been in because there's always really long queues on the weekend. And I don't really do tourism in like churches or super Christian locations much. But we were specifically going to this little cafe that I love called Le Petit Dip Cafe, which is right across the street. You can see a green sign in the distance. That's where we're walking. As you can tell by just kind of the like architecture and street you can see around us. A lot of the stuff in the old port is like original. The roads are very cobbled. There's a lot of hills. The sidewalks are very narrow, and the buildings are like very old. They even have like the street signs that kind of look like the old style, I think, just to make it a bit more nostalgic. But it's a very pretty area. It's just everything around here is quite expensive. So you can find a lot of really cool, fancy restaurants. But in we go. I love this cafe. It's always very busy, but that's because I find it's quite good and it's got a nice menu of sweets, coffee, ice cream, iced teas, that sort of thing. And it actually has quite a few gluten-free treats. So it's nice because I can eat them. I did not get any food today since we were still quite full from the crepes, but we were stopping just to get some like iced teas for a bit of energy and to fight off the warmth. They carry a ton of local products there, so check it out if ever you can. And here we were walking to our final destination, passing the old town hall, which was under renovation, but that's okay because our destination is on the right at the Chateau Ramsay. This is a historical building in Old Montreal, which has a museum on the inside with a beaver that gave me a jump scare, but it's taxidermy. So this museum focuses on the history of Montreal specifically, and it was originally built as the governor's home, which was the Governor Ramsay. And then eventually his descendants sold it through the fur trade or like people who participate in the fur trade. So this museum focuses on the political history and the economic history of Montreal, as well as its relationship to France when it was a colony specifically of France and was still Nouvelle France. So, for example, in this room, all of the wood was imported directly from France. It was very beautiful. We wanted to take pictures here, but the lighting wasn't very good. So we ended up mostly just filming stuff and reading the different, like, I don't know what you call them, tablets around the room. Not all of these paintings were original. A lot of them are recreation of much smaller paintings. So because of that, the quality of them varied a little bit, but the paintings at the top of the room, which you can see here, were original. And they were very beautiful.
Why does it look like that?
And this is one of those museums that really focuses on how people affected history. So they had a lot of artifacts like these clothing, and they had some other things like snowshoes and that sort of stuff that people used every day. And we headed down into the basement. So now we're in the basement, and I have to say, this is where things got a bit weird. Holy shit, they had tablets back then?
That joke. You literally just said that right before you did.
We're funny.
They were iPad kids. Gotta love that French Canadian cuisine.
Delicious.
I mean, I like a fish. A whole ass fish.
Take a seat and create the parent family's menu by selecting some of the foods and dishes which are on the table. Then look underneath each family member's plate to find out if you were able to guess what they actually ate. Be careful. One item does not belong here.
Okay.
Is that a tortilla?
No, it's peas.
There was just a general vibe of creepiness. Like, it was very dark and the ceilings were very low, probably because it's the original infrastructure. And then there was like this dark hole with just this one flickering electric candle at the end, and the vibes were just a bit strange. Like, it was very, very empty and very quiet. And we were not expecting like the sudden dark hole. So Prince, being the brave man, went before us, and it opened up onto this very lonely, dark dining room. And
Are you allowed to sit?
oh yes, because this very lonely, dark bed. I guess this was supposed to be the part that like shows you how people lived, but we didn't have a guide, and there wasn't really a lot of detail down here that explained what was going on, so we felt a little lost. And we decided to head out to the gardens for some fresh air. Now, it was early spring, so there wasn't actually a ton going on in these gardens. It focuses only on growing like local stuff, so it's not anything crazy, but the tulips were very nice. The greenery was very nice. We took a few cord pictures here since there was some shade and it made the light really nice. And I feel like this environment suited Prince's cord really well. So here's the gardens. Like I said, there was not a ton going on. The tulips were blooming, and over here normally I think they have more of a like vegetable garden type thing going on, but there wasn't really much in bloom or in season, I guess. So we might come back later in the year because this garden, you can actually access it publicly. It opens onto this square, which as you can tell was quite busy. It is closed for traffic, and there's a lot of caricature artists, which I had never really realized pop up in downtown old Montreal like this, but hey, there they were. We decided to get some ice cream at good old Dairy Queen. There was some other ice cream shops across the way. I kind of wish we had gone because they looked like more local ones, but they were super busy and the line at Dairy Queen was so much shorter. And I can't lie, with these pigtails and head bow, my brain was starting to hurt.
I haven't had a blizzard in years. They're really good. Oh, okay. Not having a blizzard.
What are you having?
Bitch.
And after that, we just decided to walk back to the metro. I'm a bit doubting my decision to film the outro by me walking alone because it looks like I'm just alone for some reason now, but it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. We would have gone to get dinner, but we had to rush home for an appointment with our landlord, very unfortunately. But like I mentioned earlier, there's a ton of good restaurants around this area. You can stay in the Old Port, or you could go to Chinatown, which is about a 5-10 minute walk from here, which is probably where we would have gone to get tacos if we had the time. There's a great taco restaurant in Chinatown. I'm trying to get better at vlogging by doing it every once in a while. It's not my strong suit, I think, because I'm a bit impatient. I tend to rush the filming, and I think this vlog was only successful because my girlfriend and Prince were there to help me, so I'm very grateful. Please let me know some fun stuff to do in your city, wherever you're from. Please check out Dodo's as well. I'll put the links in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, bye bye!